Today is a very special anniversary for Liberal Dan and Liberal Dan Radio Talk from the Left, That's Right. And it's not even a Liberal Dan Radio anniversary per se. It is a Dan and Dave on the Air anniversary because I was not doing Liberal Dan Radio yet. This clip is older than Liberal Dan Radio. It was when I was at a town hall being held by a local Republican congressperson. There was a 2-year bit where a corrupt Democrat got voted out of office, and I didn't vote for him. I didn't vote for the Republican either, but there was a corrupt Republican, Dollar Bill Jefferson, and he got beat by Joseph Cao, the Republican. And Joseph Cao was going around telling everybody all about the Affordable Care Act and how his interpretation of the bill, what isn't even his interpretation of the bill, he was following the Liberty Council's interpretation of the bill and the wording of it, specifically the HR 3200 version, section 122, which talks about limiting cost sharing, except he didn't say that it was limiting cost sharing. He said that that part was death panels, that part created the death panels. No, the death panels exist when insurance companies tell you that you can't get the brain surgery or the coverage that you need for your kid, so your kid dies because it won't cover it. That's the death panels. But I informed him, and I happened to be recording it at the time, that Section 122 of HR 3200 was not about death panels. It was about reducing cost sharing, i.e. They would have to spend no less than 80% of your premium dollars on healthcare services, and only 20% of your premium dollars could go towards overhead, salaries of all of the employees and all that other stuff. So you had to spend at least 80%. And that's in the law. That made it into the law, even though the HR 3200 didn't pass. It was the Senate bill that passed, but that part of HR 3200 did make it through. Well, Joseph Cao insisted that it's what it said, and I said, no, you're absolutely wrong. So Joseph Cao said,
you are much, much smarter than I am.
What was it that you said again, former Congressman Cao?
You are much, much smarter than I am.
A little echo, not the greatest audio or whatever. It was an old recording device or whatever. But yeah, he said that I was much, much smarter than I am. So when I saw that this was the anniversary of that, I had to include that in this show because, we found the audio in the middle of a previous show, thanks to your boy Chris, one of the first Liberal Dan Radio patrons. So thank you, Chris, and thank you, former Congressman Cao, for admitting that I was much, much smarter than you are.